Time for Twins Pod. It's going to be a damn good show. Yeah.
These delegations overseas, okay? And these people overseas are smart. And they get them, and they check you out. They study you before you come over. And they know you like Manhattans, right? Or they know you like a little bit of extra whiskey in your drink or whatever it is. You like this stuff. Or they find out that you got an extramarital affair going on back home and, you've been married to some same woman maybe for 25 years or whatever, and you got a little extramarital thing going on and, she's like 19, 18, 17 back home. And so they present that kind of thing to you while you're overseas, okay? And, they nail you. And maybe you got, a different way to look at people. Like you're looking at, maybe you're in the behavior where you're in that LGBTQ plus, XYZ community. So they find out about that, and they will put those things in front of you while you're there.
Pictures.
And pictures, videos, and so most members, especially when they first come in, are not that smart. These people are not that smart.
Right.
They might have education from, somewhere else. They might have Harvard and Yale and, Princeton. It's all bullshit.
Right.
And there's a very few, like I love to see a lot of veterans. There's more and more veterans that are stepping up, and I love to see that because at least they have a little bit of, particularly the ones that I am aware of, they got a little bit of school of hard knocks, and they've been tested in a different way. And I do believe that their patriotic spirit will override the desire that these others will take the corrupt, and create this sort of corrupt activity. But there are a few that have fallen for it. So anyway, I mean, this is what happens. Right. So this is the reality. What I'm telling you and your audience, this is the shit that happens. And because frankly, this is the kind of stuff that our government tries to do against some people that because the world of intelligence in the government against government, in the spying world is a very real thing. This is not Mission Impossible or, or James Bond. This is real stuff. It's hard work and it's necessary. And if you're going to cross a line, you have to get permission to cross the line. If you're going to cross an ethical or a moral line, you got to get permission to do it. And if it's for the good of the country and it's being handled properly by the right people who are frankly honest and they track it but see that's like everything that I'm telling you, forget about that because it doesn't exist.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, now
it does not exist.
Having this information about what's going on overseas.
Yeah.
And I know the media, they have absolutely no integrity when they look at the Bidens and Hunter Biden and his business dealings overseas. There's always nothing to see here. There's nothing to do.
Right.
And Biden totally says, I don't deal with my son and his business.
Right.
He's got to know.
Yeah, he definitely knows. And that's clear. I mean, that's already, you read the various reports that have come out on this thing. It is insane.
That's a quick investigation.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. It should be. And you know what? I mean, if it was like a kid that had drug problems and that was his only problem, and
they're going to use it against him.
Yeah, and maybe that the drug problems led to marital problems or whatever. I mean, it's like there's so many things that we can kind of look at as a society and go, okay, get some help, right? But now we're not talking about that. Okay, we're talking about him going over to China and having a business partner who was the top Chinese intelligence official in China.
That's nuts.
And then having business relationships in Ukraine. This is why Ukraine is so important. This is why we got all this money flowing over to Ukraine because we don't want people really in this country to find out exactly what Ukraine is, what's happening in Ukraine,
really,
what's truly happening in Ukraine. Okay, so. So you have, he's operating over there. Burisma is the name of the company. So Hunter's over there, no business at all being over there. He's got no background. He's got no experience, and he's getting paid millions of dollars. And then we find out that, a certain percentage goes to the big guy, right? And this was provided.
Right there in the email.
It's provided in testimony to Congress. And, and Hunter's getting an ungodly amount of money. Not because he knows anything, it's because of the relationship with his father and then the access that he could provide for those people, and that's proven, their access into the White House meetings that they had. It's there. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up.
Right. Then that's when Facebook, Twitter, and everybody starts censoring that story.
Right. Right. And then you're if you cover it, then they try to make Hunter out to be to just be this drug addicted guy.
Yeah, he's struggling with drugs, right?
You all seen it. And I don't know if you can clip.
He even
this
wrote
in.
a book about it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can clip this in. But I like the one that, and somebody, the Bidens, Jill and Joe are out in the porch there in the White House. The second floor. They're out there at some event that they're looking out. They got the family there, and Hunter's back there with I guess the wife or whatever, whoever the woman was.
Yeah.
They're carrying a baby, and he kind of hands the baby to her, and he does a quick like that, right? Like he goes behind like Joe and Jill. Have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, you got to go watch it. It's like,
Okay,
and
I'll
I'm
put
like,
the clip right here.
oh my God, it's like so. You watch that, and he's like that, and he goes back, right? And I'm just reflecting what I saw, right?
Right.
So.
Right. That is insane.
Unbelievable. And somebody sent that, and it was floating around the internet on social media. And you look at it and you think, okay, is this AI? Because I understand AI and how AI can be manipulated. This wasn't AI. They were there. And you look at it and you go, that son of a bitch is up there doing drugs right there in front of the world. And you kind of go, you got, it's like, in a funny way, you kind of go, okay, man, I'll give the guy a lot of credit, but no. This is like for real. This is the presidency of the United States of America. This is about you guys, your audiences, their families, the future of our country. It's no more. This is no more about Republicans and Democrats.
Right.
This is about whether you want this country to continue to be, this beautiful constitutional republic where there's a free, there's a fair justice system. I mean, everybody knows the various communities that we have in our country that have been persecuted for so long, but now you're being persecuted for your political views,
Right.
which is different,
Really weird.
And that's happened. It's really started to happen a number of years ago, but now it's gotten even worse. And so it's like, so a guy like me, I mean, I'm a Democrat going into the White House with Donald Trump. I served honorably in the military, a great career in the military, I mean, really, changed a lot of what we did to fight our enemies, and I've never been a guy. I'm not a guy that's gonna, hey, look at me, pat me on the back. I'm just gonna work hard. I'm gonna outwork people, and I'm gonna go do the right thing. And the right thing sometimes is the harder choice to make.
Yeah.
And my message to people is that it's kind of like, and one of the things for this film, the question that I want people to ask when you watch this, and the same question that I would say to you guys is, what are you willing to fight for? Because if you're willing to fight for something, you're willing to die for something. And so you got to decide at some point in time in your life, like if you get censored, the Hodgetwins, geez, you guys are so amazing. And, but if somebody said,
they could do it overnight.
They could do it right now. And that's your livelihood. Let's say that's your livelihood, right? And that's how you put bread on the table for your families.
Right.
And you're censored. And it's like, and maybe you got, a month or two down the road that you can handle your mortgages and your car payments and your kids and everything else. But then all of a sudden, and you're like, so now, do you fight, like your T-shirt, fight, like Trump says, right? Your hat.
Right.
And, do you fight for, hey, this is not right? Right. And it isn't right because you're not doing anything. You're practicing your ability, your freedom, your our First Amendment right to be able to say what we want to say. So that's not like, because you guys aren't, you're not attacking, certain things that are real mean. You're just bringing out issues. And so I think that the American people and your audience is a big one and a good one and a smart one because of what you guys do. People have to understand that there is a choice right now that you have.
Right.
And like Trump or not, because you asked me earlier, did I hold that? Was I, have any animosities towards him? And I did for a while, but I can see through it because I understand the risk that our country is facing. And the risk that our country is facing is that we will lose our country here if we're not careful. So that's my big message, is to think about what are you willing to fight for, and then get out there and do it. You know, get out there and serve in your community. Get out there and, you know, go to church, serve in your church. You know, don't just be a wallflower and let somebody else do it. And I know, I got that. There's so many people busy, and you're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or whatever, raising kids. You know, then make sure that you're raising them right. I mean, put more effort into that. You know.
And to get the facts out of it, because watching that movie, that's a huge investment in our country.
Oh yeah,
in the future of our country.
It is. I mean, this is a very, very historic. It's about a little bit about history, but it's not like history, like boring.
Right.
This is a very historic.
It's not like
part.
the History Channel.
No, no. And so it's a very telling story, and the story basically is one. It's inspiring, but it's a story of survival.
Yeah, you survived
Man,
a lot.
and here I am.
Yeah. You got a friend here that specializes in SOBs.
Right. PSYOPs. I love the way you say that.
PSYOPs.
Psyops.
Yes. It's that big, thick Negro tongue I got.
Yeah.
From the South.
PSYOPs. PSYOPs. Baby. Like something you find in the barbecue.
Right. PSYOPs. PSYOP. This side, look here. PSYOP. PSYOPs. There you go. You almost sound like a white man.
I love it. Yeah, Boone Cutler, Sergeant retired Boone Cutler. And if we can maybe take a quick break and bring him on, and talk about 5th generation warfare, because that's the type of warfare that we're involved in right now.
That you faced and Trump is facing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, everybody, inflation is out of control, and this problem is only going to get worse.
The value of silver, gold has been steadily rising, while the value of the American dollar has been falling.
PurpleBar.com is changing the game, making it easy for all of us to protect our financial futures. The bars are perforated so they can easily break apart and can be conveniently exchanged. Go to PurpleBar.com and use promo code Hodgetwins, and you get 5% off gold bars. And you get 10% off silver bars. Yeah.